Hello everyone, I'm Mercado here, and some of you might know me from Metal Eclipse Review, and I am being interviewed by Schaden Collective today. So, let's get to it, alright? I've been writing for different sites for a long time now, and I started to collect more and more promos and so on, and I was thinking, why can't I do this just myself? Why am I waiting here for other people? What if I want to review this or that? But most importantly, I like writing, and I was getting bored in my current job of the way I was writing, so I needed a more creative outlet. And that's partially why I thought, why not just opening a blog for fun? It won't be anything serious. But then it got a bit serious. And I don't think there is anything wrong with that, of course. It was, don't get me wrong, it's not like I have a big website or anything, but it became way more interesting than I thought. And I met a bunch of you guys and so many interesting people, and I just hope we can keep doing this in the future and so on. One review per day or one article per day. We're all working not super hard, but we're working, every day to get somewhere. That is probably the most difficult question I'm gonna get here. Let's go for something safe and say probably Blackwater Pork or Ghost Rivers are there. I also sort of like Obscene a lot from Bashuka, and you can see I have an 8-string guitar. That's why. There are so many. Anything from Immolation, Death. The Sound of Perseverance and Symbolic are also there. I love these albums a lot. I mean, I can't decide, but let's say something between Death and Opeth. That would be okay. You see, it's kind of interesting because I would say it's despite I like to be creative and write jokes and not really taking it too seriously. I do have a method. And if you read a few of the reviews, you realize that they're quite structured, quite systematic. So there's an intro paragraph, then two development paragraphs where I kind of dangle into different ideas. And then you get a criticism, like feedback for the band or whoever wants to get into it. And then you get a summary of everything. So it's usually 5-6 paragraphs. My other writers have slightly different approaches depending on what interests them, but that would be my personal approach. And it's just quite systematic because it's the way I was trained as a writer, so I think that's why. I have two cats, and if you are following us on Instagram, you probably have seen them already. They are there here and there. And they're two siblings. They're already around 7, 8 years old, so they're considered senior cats now. I don't know what else can I say about them. They're lovely cats. They're like dogs. I've had them since they were like 3 months old. So they're like my first pack of children. Am I secretly a cat? I don't know. You'll have to figure that out. I'm also a musician. I'm not particularly gifted at it, but I do it for fun. I've done it since I was a teenager. I was never really interested in being a big band or anything. I just wanted to learn how to make music to like understand it better and enjoy it better. Aside from that, I also enjoy movies like everyone else, and I love reading. Again, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you realize that I keep like a competition with myself every year to read a couple of books. Last year were like 102, but that's insane. So this year I turned it down to like 50. And I'm usually quite of a snob there. So if again you follow my writing, you notice a few glimpses here and there of the snobbish stuff I like to read. But if I had to pick specific literature I love German classics, French classics. I'm a bit biased and say I also like Swedish classics. Russia has awesome literature full of pain and agony. So it's really inspiring if you want to be into metal. I mean, right now, if we can give more attention to small acts that don't get what they deserve, if we can get to know more people, if I can get more reviewers, and just share the interest that we all have with this strange type of music, so that would be great, honestly. And if, well, people start to cite us and use us as some kind of like validation source, I don't mind, honestly, that's fine. So just, keep growing, keep becoming relevant for you guys in a way, and offering a decent service. Yes, I said service because at the end of the day, I'm producing content that you guys can consume, and you will decide what to buy or not based on that, whether it's good or bad. But I see myself as someone that is providing a service to this community. So this depends. Before you go crazy, you eat your pizza whatever you want. I live in Sweden, therefore I've seen way more atrocious things done to pizza than just pineapple. I've seen entire war crimes done to pizzas here, like with bananas, with kebab, whatever you want, with chocolate, anything goes here. However, I think that if what you want is legitimate, authentic Italian pizza like they had it like 150 years ago or something, then maybe you should have it with pineapple. But if you don't care, or you just want to have fun, just have your pineapple. I don't care, honestly. But I already threw a few death albums and opus, but I also enjoy like the Heart of Winter, Sons of Northern Darkness by Immortal. You also have Emperor's first two albums; those are great. I can think I'm ironically very into prog, as you know, and I like the Old Dream Theater albums. Basically, onto Active Volume, then things kind of murky for me. Um, However, I do have a soft spot for softer things. Like you have, for example, Symphony X V, the Mythology. That's an awesome album. All the classic death metal albums from Immolation are awesome too, even though I always joke about them in the website. You also have, I love everything that is kind of avant-garde, so anything by Pandemonium or Edge of Sanity is from one of my favorites. Basically, almost anything that Savannah gets his hands on, it's golden for me. I know it's controversial to say because they're in kind of a bad rap, but I do like Death Spell Omega at least until the trilogy of albums, like kind of you're pronouncing their own Latin, the physical trilogy. I know they're in hot water and probably we won't get along, but the music is legit. Anything by Imperial Triumph and Triumphant is also great. It's one of my favorite bands right now, I would say. And that Cain is also great. Yeah, I mean, and there are so many bands. Anything Meshuggah did is also great. I could keep going forever. There are so many great albums out there, and I could go for like 20 minutes. So maybe let's move to the next question. The main place where I will probably reply to you is Instagram. Just Mental Eclipse Review. You just write that, and I'll be there. I'm usually very quick, or I try. You can also follow us in Facebook. We have an account also in BandBond, but I'm not that active there. We also have, you can follow the blog directly. There you can also do any kind of kind contribution that comes out of your cold heart. That will be great. If you're an artist, you can submit your track to us in Groover. And I know it's a paid service, but I get so many singles every week that I need to prioritize somehow. We still give opportunities to, every week to bands that don't pay us anything, of course. But of course, if you help us out in some way, we're always gonna prioritize you. But that doesn't mean we're gonna be nice to you. So don't get your hopes up. We're still gonna be objective because you don't pay us that well neither. So one last thing I would like to add. I don't know. Have fun. Be nice to people. We're very few in this community, and I see it as our responsibility to keep it alive and keep it going. So, just support the artists, support the content creators that you prefer. Uh, Reach out. We're always there for you too. So the same way the music is. So take care and see you around. Bye bye.